Welcome everyone to the Sports Doctors In Show. My name is Earl Rush, and along with my broadcast partner Larry Abels, we're going to be covering the exciting sports news that has taken place last week. And it's not a comedy show, so I'm not going to try to say anything funny. It's a sports show, so we're going to get straight to the games. All right. First things first, Larry, your thoughts on the World Series?
Oh, very entertaining World Series. I love when they go 7 games. Teams seem to be evenly matched. He had 2 games that went extra innings, including the last game of the series. So fantastic, and felt bad that somebody had to lose.
Okay.
Kung Fu, how you doing, buddy? Good to see
Kung
you again.
Fu, what's up, Kung Fu?
It's been a minute.
Kung Fu, what you think about the World Series?
See what he has to say. What were your thoughts on the World Series?
You know what? I tried my best not to be a prisoner of the moment. Okay, Maria, I try not to be a prisoner of the moment. You know, sometimes people, most recent things is what people say, but I'm not saying there isn't one, but I can't right out remember a World Series that was more exciting than that one. I'm sure maybe there was one, but I just can't put it on. If you ask me, I would say that was one of the top 5 that I've seen, you know. But I'm not saying just because it just happened. That was a heck of a World Series, I got to tell you, for sure.
All right, so Kung Fu thought it was awesome, and he was a Dodger fan.
All right, there you
He
go.
went away happy. Well, you know, a lot of people have been talking about that. In my opinion, it certainly was one of the best. And those are people who know me know that I'm not a homer. Even though I like the home teams, I'm not a homer. But the year Washington won, I think it's right up there with that. And the reason I say that, Washington was a wild card team that had to win a wild card game on the road.
Right.
Went through the Cardinals, the Dodgers. But speaking in terms of the World Series, that World Series, nobody won a home game. Washington won 2 games out in Houston, and Houston was a heavy favorite compared to a wild card team. Washington won 2 games. I said, hey, Washington has a chance. Houston comes back and wins 3 games in Washington. I thought Washington was done. Plus, Scherzer got hurt and had to miss his turn, but it turned out Strasburg won Game 6. Scherzer came out and gave a great effort in Game 7, and the Houston's pitcher was shutting Washington down through about the 7th inning. But, you know, for some reason in baseball, they don't like, except for the Dodgers, they don't like to let their pitchers go 9 innings. And Houston took their start out. Washington came back and won.
Well, I thought
that was very compelling.
I could think of some couple of series that I thought was better than that one, but that's just me. And maybe subconsciously because I despise the Washington area team, there's a side of me saying, what the heck is Larry talking about? But
that series was lit. And it went
I
back.
I don't think that series is better than the Red Sox Mets series for that far as that goes. But that's just me.
Well, I mean, what I'm saying is I think they're all in the same class. And again, what they have in common, they all win 7 games. So by the nature of going 7 games, they're going to go back and forth, and they're going to be competitive.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. You can give me examples, ask me what I was asking about, and that's what you did. I don't want to spend any more time on this show talking about any team from the Washington D.C. area until we rank over the Commanders later when we get to the NFL.
I give them credit when they do well.
Right, I hear you. You're fair.
I'm hard on them otherwise.
Right, you're a fair fan. It's hard for someone who just likes to be fair about anything about them. I know. Again, too much time on that. Well, it was a great World Series, and I guess they have a chance to go back to back to back. They won back to back, and they probably be looking good for next year as well. So,
you know, it's the first time in about 20-something years that we've had a back-to-back champion, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think since 2000s or something.
Yeah, I would say 2001 or something like that.
Yeah, about 25 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Enough about that. So, Right, it seems as if I was trying to be funny, but it doesn't really seem like there's a showdown. It's a showdown between Indiana and Ohio State for the Big Ten championship. Does Indiana play? They don't play Ohio State this year, do they? No.
No, they don't. They don't. I don't think they face each other unless they're.
So how's that gonna work? How's that gonna work for the Big Ten championship?
Well, that's when they'll face each other. That's when they'll face each other. They'll be the two best teams in the Big Ten, and because if they keep going like they are, both of them be the only undefeated teams there.
Well, last week I was asked you which conference was the strongest because there was a little difference between 1 and 4. But now that Indiana and Ohio State are 1 and 2, I guess that pretty much answers which question. Which conference is the strongest at this point? Was that what you say, Byron?
I'm not sure because I don't necessarily believe in the posters. I wonder if either of those teams had to face the SEC schedule, like the teams in the SEC, if they would be undefeated then. So I'm a little curious. If you believe in the polls, yes, it stands to reason because they got the two top teams, but I'm not sure how they would do in the SEC. SEC seems to be a stronger conference top to bottom, and they play each other. They seem to have
They got 4 in the top 10. Or 3. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, they got 4 in the top, 3 in the top 10. Yeah, I would have to say right now, even going by the polls, you would have to say that
the Big Ten's the strongest.
The Big Ten is the strongest.
Yeah. Kung Fu's agreeing with me. Good.
What conference is in Texas Tech? Do you know?
I don't know whether
it's not the SEC. I don't know. It's not.
No, they got like that. What is it? The Big 8 or something, or the Big 12? Or
stupid stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we got ready for the showdown. We going by the polls, as we say, the Big Ten is a stronger conference right now at the present, and that's it. Let's move on. Let's move over to the NFL. Do you have anything you want to discuss before we go over to the NFL, Larry?
I'm ready for the NFL.
Yeah. It seems like we'll talk about that off season. Seems like we have whatever. It is what it is. So, the NFL. Larry, is there one dominant team in the NFL right now? Present.
I don't think there is. I don't think there is. There are a lot of good teams.
If I asked you for your top 5, wouldn't it take you a little longer, a little bit more thought to make that list than normally when you ask somebody the top 5, they just run it off just like that?
It probably would be because I think there are quite a few teams that are very good. I know it's 3 teams in the AFC that are 7-2, and it's 3 teams in the NFC that are 6-2, plus Green Bay, which is 5-2-1, and there's some more teams in the AFC that have only lost 2 games. So when I throw all of that out there, you're gonna probably have about 10 teams to pick from.
Okay. Oh, Kung Fu, you still a Buckeye fan, huh? Okay, that's cool. I mean,
I'm not sure who the Buckeyes' signature victory was against this year, though.
They say Ohio State has another wide receiver that's like out of sight.
That's what I hear about them.
Yeah. So they got their top receivers. Kung Fu, what's Ohio State's new receivers look like? I have a delay on Kung Fu. You ignoring me. What's up, man?
Well, it might take them a second to respond.
All right. Okay. So, just for kicks, we were going pretty quick. We haven't squandering our time. This one kicks, Larry. Well, who was your top 5 teams right now?
Oh man, so I'm gonna go with Buffalo,
Ooh,
Indiana,
ooh.
Philadelphia, and Tampa. Buffalo, Indiana, Philadelphia, Tampa. Oh, you want more? I gotta throw Kansas City in there.
Okay.
What about you?
Kung Fu don't have you don't have an opinion. Kung Fu, while I'm listing
You
my
asked me
top
about the
5,
wide
think of what
receiver.
you yeah, that's enough.
Okay.
Kung Fu, while I'm talking to Larry and listing my top 5, think about what your top 5 teams in the NFL are. Okay. My top 5.
Come on, you can't ask a question that you don't have an answer for.
I'm the only team that I was really, really impressed with last week in the NFL was Detroit. I know Kansas City is dangerous, and I'm a big KC fan, but the only team I was impressed with was Detroit. Because I knew, I don't know, they lost a game, everybody gonna lose a game. I'm not quite sold on Indianapolis yet. But I don't know that they're not gonna be good. They could have just lost the game.
So would they be in your top 5?
Who, Detroit? Or
Indianapolis.
Indianapolis?
Yeah.
Well, it has to be. How many losses do they have? 1 or 2?
2. They're 7-2. The Broncos are 7-2, and the Patriots are 7-2. Colts, Broncos, and Patriots are all 7-2. Buffalo is 6-2.
Okay. So
That's the AFC.
My top 5 teams in the NFL would be Philadelphia, Tampa,
Okay.
the Rams. That's 3, right, Larry?
Yep. That's right. The Rams are also 6-2.
Denver's 4.
Okay.
And Kansas City would be 5.
Okay. So you didn't pick Buffalo.
I was asked to list my top 5.
I'm just asking a question. They have a better record than Kansas City, and they just beat Kansas City.
I was asked to list my top 5 teams, and that's what I did. I don't know why there are question marks here. I have no idea.
Let's see what Kung Fu comes up with. You got the Bills, Kansas City, the Eagles, Packers, 49ers.
Okay. All right, Kung Fu. That's
not bad either.
That's not bad. Kung Fu,
It's
are you sold on Indianapolis, or what's the story with Indianapolis, Kung Fu?
Now, he didn't mention Indianapolis.
No, he I guess he's not sold on them. That's
Yeah,
why
he didn't mention them.
I was asking a stupid question. I'm not reading the room right. I asked him, he listed 5, then I asked him what was he thinking that he would have had him on the list. I could go with everybody he got on that list too.
I could too, but as we were saying, there's a lot of other teams out there that with similar records, and so it's no dominant team, but it's quite a few teams that are playing well.
Yeah,
that have been consistent.
They're not. Okay, we're not ready to leave NFL yet. Things are going pretty smooth and quickly here. Actually, it's been a sports show, which it usually is. All right. One of your fortes, Larry, to me, as a sports fan and a sports analyst, is you're pretty reasonable with all your thoughts, and not too much one way or the other. You're not drastic about things. So if I was going to ask somebody a question, you would be the one I would ask. Can you give me a good reason? A good reason, not any reason. A good reason why Jaden Daniels was in the game down by 30 in the fourth quarter.
No, there's no good reason there. And it's even worse is that they were calling plays for him to run the ball. And ironically, I had just sent a buddy of mine a text at the end of the third quarter saying I would take Daniels out. And, of course, they left him in another 8 minutes and he got hurt. The other thing that you've been hearing me say is they called too many running plays for him. Yep. But I only think they really need to have 1 or 2 planned runs per half. I don't know why at that situation did they call a running play for him by the goal line when they're down by, almost 30 points. Horrible, horrible decision to have him in there and still just hand the ball off if he's going to be in there.
What? Why? He's been hurt anyway. That's double reason why.
And it was a freak injury. He just fell wrong. But those things happen sometimes.
See it's a no-brainer, man. It's a no-brainer for. Let me get this guy out of the game. I can heal up a little bit more and be a little bit more healthy with me. I know my blockers didn't block for him. I know that, but he don't need to be in the game when it's down by 30.
Yeah. Plus, he wasn't necessarily that effective anyway. I mean, It wasn't like they only had 7 points up until that point. It wasn't his night.
I'm questioning the coach.
Oh,
I'm questioning the management. The general manager, the owner, somebody just said, "Get this motherfucker out. Get this guy out of the game." Excuse me, Barry. Get this guy out of the game before he gets hurt. That's common sense.
Kung Fu. I don't think the player has any input in the play calling. I think those are all designed runs. I think the calls are coming from the sideline. And Kung Fu, I want to be clear. If the pocket breaks down and he decides to run, that's fine. But they call playing running plays with him about 10 times a half, at least, for no reason, as far as I'm concerned. They only need about 1 or 2 playing runs. He can run when the pocket breaks down, whole different ball game. But I don't like them calling running plays for the quarterback. Not to mention what Earl is talking about, the time of the game, the score of the game, and quite frankly, they weren't that effective anyway early in the game.
See, I don't know, is it the curse of the Washington, D.C. teams, or is this just another dumb coach? I don't know which one it is. That's just dumb. It's dumb for him to be in the game.
I agree.
He shouldn't have been in the game after the third quarter. Y'all don't in the game.
That's why I said I texted a buddy of mine and said I'd take him out.
Of course.
I'll take him out now. There's no need
so
for him
what
to be
does
here.
that tell us? This guy is not a good coach. The management is bad.
Sometimes you gotta read the room, as you like to say, and say, okay, tonight's not our night. And they couldn't stop Seattle anyway, so it wasn't anything. They were, even if he had played well, Seattle was just running through them. They had no answers to them.
So I'm leaning towards what you were saying last year. They've had some injuries, but not that many. Players completely, it's been a 180-degree turnaround. It's just like you said. Last year, things just happened to go the right way for them. That's all. They're not that good. They overplayed themselves.
They overachieved last year.
Yes. So I have to. You made me see that for sure.
I think Quietus is kept. They kind of missed on the running back they had last year. Robinson.
Well, like I said, the show, the flow of the show has been very fluid.
Yeah,
I don't want to mess things up by wasting time arguing about this guy. You keep saying would have made a difference, but I don't buy it. I've been thinking
you don't have to buy it, but he was a part of their offense. And then when Eckler got hurt very early, they really had no real big back that they could rely on. Not to mention McLaurin has been hurt. The number 2 wide receiver has been hurt, as well as the quarterback. But I think they mix. Not that Robinson is great, but he could at least get them a few yards sometime in certain situations. They don't have a power back.
Okay. All right. You know him personally, Larry?
No.
Well, you be taking up for that dog, man.
No, I don't think he's great. I just think he was adequate, and they don't really have someone to replace him.
Okay. I got you.
I like the guy Bill they were talking about, but he hasn't really been doing that much lately, and he's more of a guy that they needed to get around the edge, not between the tackles.
Right.
When Eckler went down, that in the first game, that took away all of their power running.
I think their power running is not working with Nicholson and with the other guys that they do have.
And Rodriguez.
Yeah, because of the line.
Yeah.
That's all. That's what I'm saying, Kung Fu. You see Kung Fu know it, see?
I think they finally started trying them, but they were using Bill up the middle most of the time. Nichols and Rodriguez weren't even hardly getting on the field.
Let's keep it real because we was doing a good job of that. The rest of the offensive line is trash. Period. This boy, he's always under pressure. Good Lord, if he wasn't a mobile quarterback, it'd be horrible.
But as much as the line, I think the other thing is they don't have any receivers that you have to double. McLaurin has played one game, and unfortunately, the quarterback didn't play that game. They don't have any other receivers that you got to worry about. So they can send an extra man.
Okay.
Keep a linebacker in the box for a running play.
Okay. All right. Sounds good to me.
You got to have somebody to throw it to. I question their quality of wide receivers have really fallen off.
Okay. All right.
Who else you got?
Well, besides, you can't do that like somebody play very exciting. Besides Cincinnati and
that was the game of the week.
That was who did they play?
Chicago.
That was the best game I saw all week.
47 to 42, back and forth.
Other than that game, I didn't see the exciting games this week. So I don't know what's going on. I just don't know. And Kansas City and Buffalo, it was an all right game, but it really didn't look like it was kind of. I mean, Buffalo seemed like they just did whatever they wanted to do with Kansas City. I don't know what's going on. But it wasn't in my great games, I'll tell you that.
But the Vikings and Lions was pretty good. Okay. Vikings won 27-24. The Lions tried to come back on them, but
I just don't know about the NFL. I'm telling you. So it is what it is, I guess. So how do you think San Francisco is keep winning?
I think they have good coaching there, and they've lost a lot of good players. They lost their starting quarterback, they lost their best defensive player, and they still seem to show up every week. Good coaching their position, they're always prepared, no matter who they play.
Okay.
I think people sleep on San Francisco.
So, Barry, what do you think about the Los Angeles Chargers? What are your thoughts on them? I thought they started off pretty good, and I was thinking that they were going to be a threat. I don't see them as a threat. What are your thoughts on them?
Their record's 5-3. I see them as being inconsistent. 5-3 is not bad, but there's so many teams in the AFC that have only lost 2 games. I think there's a lot of teams in the AFC that will take care of them if they make the playoffs. Okay. Their quarterback has actually played pretty well on Herbert, and I think he's the leading rushing quarterback in the league. And I know. Normally think of him as a fast guy.
I know.
But he's actually played pretty well this year.
You said we don't normally think of him as a fast guy?
Right. You don't normally think he's somebody that would be the leading Russian quarterback.
But you don't have to be fast to be a great rusher.
Yeah, but normally you think of guys like Lamar Jackson or Jaden Daniels that could break
They
one for a
are
ball.
faster, but all I'm saying is he could be rushing good and just run at the right time. He could have.
Yeah, that's exactly what he's doing.
That doesn't really mean that he's fast.
No, I know, but normally we think of a fast person that would be the leading rusher because they're the type that could bust out and run 60 or 70 yards. But I guess nobody's really been doing that this year, and Herbert has been picking his spots and doing well. And most of his are broke down. They're not design runs. Every now and then they are, but most of his is when the pocket collapses.
I'm just being the backside. I don't see it. I'm just being the backside. I don't see why what fast has to do with running any other.
Normally the guys that lead, normally the quarterbacks that are the top rushers are fast. They have more speed than Herbert does. Even if you say Josh Allen.
Let me give you that Josh Allen's not fast.
He's faster than Herbert.
Yeah, but
he's not. Herbert is almost slow.
Hey. All right.
And they called more design runs for Allen too.
Herbert, I know, but that's my example. Josh Allen is not fast, and he's a great rusher.
I wouldn't say that he was slow though. I don't think he's slow.
He's
not as fast as Lamar Jackson or nobody.
He's not fast as Lamar Jackson. What other running quarterbacks they got?
Jaden Daniels.
I'm sure we can name 5 quarterbacks that are faster than him. That doesn't mean he's not fast, because we can name 5 people that are faster than him. But
I think he's pretty fast. I think he's pretty fast.
Okay.
And Herbert probably is faster than I think he is too. Because usually when he busts through, I've seen him run a couple of touchdowns this year, and it's almost like he's deceptive because they don't expect him to run, and he seems like he goes in untouched sometimes, 10 or 15 yards.
Yeah. Okay. So
what do you think? What do you think about Baltimore? Are they done?
Last week I would have said no as soon as you answered that question to me.
What changed?
I don't know, man.
Pittsburgh beating Indianapolis?
I don't have a to answer your question, I don't have an answer for that. I know that's corny and all, but I know sports talk, I should be decided about something. Yeah, they're done. Now, what's changed? They got a law. Anything can happen in the NFL. They got too many games where anything can happen. They lose one more game, they definitely out. They got to win on. They got to win out. Almost. That's not going to happen.
They're 2 games behind Pittsburgh, and I don't think they played Pittsburgh yet. That could be the difference. Kung Fu's not sold on Aaron Rodgers.
Join the million fan club.
But here's the deal. When Baltimore won Thursday night, I was expecting Indiana to beat Pittsburgh, and I thought they were only going to be 1 game behind Pittsburgh at that point. Uh-huh. And I was I was feeling pretty confident that they definitely would catch them. Pittsburgh surprised me with their win Sunday.
Their defense finally playing like their potential. They had a good defense last year. It looked like they just fell apart this year, man.
Yeah.
But the last game they played, they were hanging in there.
Well, they showed up. They showed up Sunday against Indianapolis.
Yeah. Yes. To answer your question, with all the hesitation and all the jibber jobbers, yes, the Browns are
Baltimore's done.
Browns are done. Baltimore's done. Okay. Too big of a hole to dig out of. It's too big of a hole.
Well,
As
they
you
probably
said,
have. They have to.
if they got beat twice by the Ravens, the the Ravens would still lose to some team they shouldn't lose to.
Well, I think both of them are going to lose some more games, so it ought to be interesting. And a big part of it, Jackson can stay healthy too. That's a real big part. Even though Baltimore's defense has really been their problem.
Yeah. Yeah. There you go. All right. So, what are your thoughts on the Eagles?
They had a bye week this week. They still look like in the NFC. I still think they're the team to beat. Not that they can't be beaten, but they look like the team to beat.
Okay.
I'd be interested to see them play the Seahawks, though. I think that'll be an interesting game.
I think everybody's hyping with Seahawks. The Seahawks aren't that good. To me.
Yeah, well, they got the same. They're the same record as Philly, so they've been pretty consistent this year.
I give them 10 points against Eagles. I guess.
Okay.
They traded for a young wide receiver today that has blazing speed. So now they have. I think Seattle has 2 wide receivers that can fly now. So they trade today.
Yeah, I think they're trying to make their move.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. Who's the worst team in the league right now, Larry?
That's what I was going to ask you. I gotta think I'm tossing a coin between Miami and the Jets. I think you could pick either one of those. If I got to pick one right now, I'll say Miami's the worst team. Philadelphia had to come to Jesus meeting with hurting the defense. We'll see. What about their wide receiver, AJ Brown? I think he sat out last week. He's the one that they got to make sure that's engaged.
Well, let's see. What's wrong with AJ Brown?
He keeps saying. I mean, he says our cryptic posts. Like
it just seems like these wide receivers are just difficult. It seems like that comes with the position. They got to be the man. They got to get the most. What happens as long as we win? I could care less what happens. They don't have those kind of players like that in the wide receiver position in the NFL. It seems like anyway. All the top receivers are football divas.
All of them.
Let's name the top. You can name the top receivers, and we can find out. Not all. I'm sure it's
Chase,
not all of them.
Chase, Jefferson. Yeah.
I'm sure it's not all of them.
Yeah.
Chase is like that. Yeah, he's like that. He wants that ball. Who else?
I said Chase and Jefferson. They seem to be two of the best.
Oh no, they big time. They just get the ball. Don't give them the ball. See what happens.
Well, they was giving it to Higgins the other day with Cincinnati. I don't know. I guess they just want the ball, man. I can't argue with that. As long as you catch it when I throw it to you, I'm okay.
Don't listen to the team with attitudes and all that kind of attitude stuff, man. Come on, just catch the ball. You getting $42 million. What do you care when we throw the ball to you, man? Come on.
They want to earn their money, man.
They earn their money by not being a fool, complaining and causing trouble. That's when they're earning their money. Just go out and catch the ball. You don't throw you the ball, don't matter. The check still kept me in cash. If you didn't care so much about the money, you would have been holding out. So don't say that don't mean nothing to you.
Money always matters.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Okay. All right. Where we at? Okay. So where are we now?
Well, you asked me who I thought the worst team was in the league. Who do you think the worst team is? And I'm going with Miami.
I think it's
an honorable mention.
I think it's a four-way tie.
Who else is down there? Oh, yeah, I just thought of another team.
Jets.
The Titans.
No, it ain't worth that. The Jets, Miami, the Commanders, and there's another team. The Cowboys. Those are the four worst teams equally.
No, it's two teams worse than the Commanders and Cowboys. The Titans and the Saints. I think each of them has only won one game.
No. I'm just going by. I'm being a prisoner of. I'm just going by what I just saw. The way the Cowboys and the Commanders look. Oh my God! It just looks horrible. He said, "Are these guys professionals? Really? Seriously? I just don't understand. They can't. None of those teams can tackle for nothing. And you might be right about all that. I haven't even looked at them. Why would I even want to look at this? I don't even know how you even got to see them. Why did you even spend your time to look at them? They're horrible. They're horrible. Who's the Saints quarterback? There you go. We can't even name him.
His name is Shuck now. They got a new quarterback. He came this week. They're selling these shirts called Shuck Around and Find Out. Marketing employee down there.
Wow. Okay.
Shuck Around and Find Out. Okay. Kind of catchy, ain't it?
Okay, Larry, we're going to wrap this up. With NFL, who's going to the Super Bowl?
Ooh, I don't know. Let's say the Eagles and the Buffalo Bills.
Okay. All right. That sounds
Who do you have?
I got the Eagles in Kansas City.
Right now, Kansas City wouldn't even qualify for the playoffs. Isn't that something? And I think the other teams that are in the wild card running, I think they've beaten Kansas City this year. So they kind of got a double whammy going against them.
Okay. You get Larry what? What did Larry say?
The Eagles and the Bills.
Oh, Buffalo ain't going nowhere, man. They ain't going nowhere. They're not going nowhere.
Well, it's kind of easy to say that when there's so many good teams. So
no, it ain't easy to say. You talking about the Redskins don't have no receivers. Buffalo ain't got no receivers. Their tight end comes up every now and then. They don't have no wide receivers. They don't have none.
They seem to win. They have defense. They make other teams punt against them. That's a big difference with Washington. Nobody punts against Washington. Maybe once a game, every now and then, every other game. Buffalo makes other teams punt when they play them.
All right. You ready to move on from the NFL?
Yeah, man. What you got next?
Okay.
Playing basketball or something?
Yeah, NBA basketball.
All right.
Yeah. So, Oklahoma hasn't lost a game this year yet, right?
They're the only undefeated team left. Because the Spurs lost their first game, I think, on Sunday. To Phoenix.
So,
and I think Philadelphia and Chicago have only lost one game. They're both off to good starts.
Yeah, that Chicago thing's not going to last. So there's no sense in me even getting excited about that. That's not going to last. Well, you never know.
They're off to a good start. They won 5 out of 6. We'll see.
The Lakers are leading in the Pacific Division at 6-2.
Yep.
I'm gonna tell you the team y'all better watch out for. I guess
who's that?
Houston. Houston got a good squad.
I think so too. I think they're adding Durant, You know, the thing that really hurt them is losing Van Fleet for the year. Because had he been there, they added Durant, I think they would be very tough to beat.
You'll find somebody.
But he was there.
Dallas isn't doing that well.
My sleeper team is going to be Detroit. I think they were coming on last year.
Uh-huh.
They got a good coach, and I look for them to continue to move forward.
Okay. All right.
Kung Fu, I don't think they have a choice here. I don't think they have a choice. They could change that if they wanted to.
But
I think he's talking about from being the top down to management.
Are we expecting big things from the Knicks this year, Larry?
The Knicks?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they'll be up there. I know the fans in New York are really hyped about them. Their record is only 4-3 right now, though, so maybe not as consistent. And I think the Pacers are like 1-6.
The way I see things, Philadelphia's coming out of the East. Yep.
I wouldn't play Milwaukee cheap. I think Philadelphia certainly has a chance. And what's going to happen is as time goes on, they've been playing Embiid on a minutes restriction. Because at first I was saying, where's this guy? But they've been increasing his time more and more, and he's been getting more involved in our offense. And with Maxey and the rookie they got,
yep,
they got 3 guys that can put the ball in the hoop right now.
That's for sure. So the East, they've been weaker than the West for the last couple of years anyway, so that ain't saying nothing. But
I think Indiana's going to miss Halliburton a lot.
I'm gonna tell you what. Besides, I don't see no strong team in the East except for maybe Milwaukee and Philly. New York
I'm telling you, Detroit's good and Orlando's good. Those teams are good.
I ain't seeing that.
Watch them. Let me see what their records are. Okay.
3-4. Orlando's
only 3-4. Detroit is 5-2 though. Yeah, Orlando's they're off to a slow start. Oh, what about the Cavaliers?
What about them?
You don't think that they're a decent team? I thought they were pretty good last year, and they got their squad back.
They don't have it. They shouldn't have lost the Knicks last year, but they don't have it.
Okay.
Donovan Mitchell can only get you so many points, but he ain't done. Donovan Mitchell is not a winner. Say what you want about his game, he is not a winner.
Okay, I don't
he hasn't become a winner yet. I'm not saying he never will be.
It's a team sport. I think a lot of people could become winners if you put enough people around them. They won a lot of games last year. Matter of fact, I think next to Oklahoma City, they had the best record.
He's never been to a final in the many years he's played there.
Okay, but he hasn't been on a team that good either.
Well, sometimes you gotta be able to elevate a team.
So, by your definition, Embiid's not a winner. Maxey's not a winner. Those guys are not winners.
They haven't played. They haven't played the game as long as the other guy has.
Embiid has.
Okay, no, Embiid definitely not a winner. No, he's not.
Okay,
he's not a winner because he's never won anything, and he's never been. He's never been healthy enough. But going by what he's done so far, he's not a winner.
Okay.
What? How could he be? What have he won?
I think it's a team game. So I look at when I think of somebody being a winner, if they're an individual that contributes in crunch time most of the time, not just in the playoffs and in the finals. I'm looking at the whole package, the whole season, and their teams win most of the time. I think they're winners. When their teams lose most of the time, then I look at them differently.
Okay. My response
and they're
to
a
that
big
is,
part of their
I can't
team's
tell
success.
I can't tell you what to think. That's my response.
No, I mean, it's not. It's no real clear definition of that.
I don't know
There's
how
no
you
clear
can be a
definition of
winner.
that.
I don't know how you can be a winner and you ain't won nothing. That's all.
Well, when your teams win most of the games, you're a winner to me. If your team wins most of the time when you play, how can you be a loser?
That's a good question.
And these are team games.
Embiid had some teams on where he had the talent where he should have been able to win. That's all.
But when you look
That's
at
all.
yeah, and their team has done well, but anybody can go up against a team that's better than them. I'm not gonna call somebody a loser just because they're facing people that are better than them. They just can't get over that hump.
Charles Barkley was not a winner.
Okay.
He didn't win. Well, you got to win something.
So the definition of being a winner is that you have to, your definition is that you have to win a championship?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. If you're going to define it that way, yeah, it's a lot of people that are.
Yeah.
But so by definition, if you're not a winner, are you a loser?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. You could be a hell of a player. You could not have nobody on your team.
Okay.
You could,
well, as long as they're not losing.
You could average 30 points a game and not be a winner.
Okay.
But you don't have to. You don't have to score 30.
I thought it was a zero-sum game. Either you're a winner or you're a loser. But if there are other categories, it's a different argument.
Yeah. Okay. Jimmy Butler ain't never won nothing. He's not a loser. But he ain't a winner either. But he ain't no loser. Jimmy Butler ain't no loser.
He's been a part of teams that have won some playoff series. He's gone to the finals a few times.
I'm sorry. I thought we were talking about. You asked me what was my definition, and
but he's won.
You explained what my definition was, but the words that you included in it, which I agree with, is they had to win some championships, not no playoffs. No, I'm just talking about what you said.
I'm agreeing with you that he's not a loser because he's won some. You said he wasn't a loser, so I was just agreeing with your point that he has won some playoff games, so I can see the argument there for him.
Yeah. Oh. What ain't no loser? Kidding me? What your questions, the way you're posing them, the way you're asking, there are good questions. It seems like it should be a definite answer, not no swaying. Well, this one is who's the loser who doesn't win the championship, and who's the loser who does. You know, Jimmy Butler ain't no loser. And he ain't won no championship. That's all.
Okay, I would go with that.
Okay. And why are you thinking Milwaukee might do something this year?
They're off to a good start. They got the guy. What's the guy from Indiana that they added? The big man. I can't even think of his name. But he'll be a good role player on that team because they got Giannis and he won't have to do as much.
First thing, man, Milwaukee has to get a point guard. That Giannis being a point guard, he ain't no magic. Giannis can't be no point. He don't have the skills to be no point guard. I don't care what their coaches say.
I don't think he's a point guard either.
Exactly. Okay. You ain't gonna win.
But I think he's good. I think he's that good. Period. I mean, he's a great basketball player. I think he's a great basketball player. And by your definition, he's a proven winner. But I think he can flat out play.
Yeah. Definitely, yeah. You know, but
Hit the game-winning shot the other night, too.
Fadeaway jumper. You got to have a point guard, man. You got to have a point guard. You got to have if you want to be somewhat successful, you have to have a legitimate point guard, and you have to have at least one legitimate big man. If you don't have that, you're not winning enough. You can't tell me a team that has won it that didn't have good players at the two positions that I named.
Oh yeah, no, you got to have a few more good players. But definitely, you got to, and maybe even a backup point guard that's
Well,
good.
I don't know. Nobody thinks Milwaukee's going anywhere. I just don't see it. I don't see it.
I think they'll be one of the top teams in the East, provided the injury bug doesn't kill them. And that's really been their problem in the last few years.
Giannis will be traded at the trade deadline. Because by then he'll know it. I want to stay with him. I want to be loyal, but we don't have no point guard. It just ain't working. It's just not gonna work.
I'm trying to see who's on there, who's their point guard right now.
Giannis is playing the point, Larry. This is what I'm telling you.
I guess Cole Anthony, and he was out the other night. He didn't even play the other night.
Giannis is playing the point. I don't care whether Cole Anthony is healthy or not. They have stated that Giannis is the point guard.
The point forward or whatever. Yeah.
So that's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. He can't dominate.
I look for them to be a decent team.
Okay. That's
because of Giannis' presence there.
I hear you. All right.
They'll need somebody like Kuzma to start playing like he used to play. He's been a no-show there.
He hasn't had a decent season since his rookie season. How long does it take for this guy play is flighty? He's just
I think Miles Turner will help them out a little bit too.
Gotta have somebody to get Miles Turner the ball. They don't have. Miles Turner ain't no more effective than what's the other guy, the big guy name they had. What was that? They got the guy who plays with the Wizards now.
Lopez?
No, the guy who plays with the Wizards now. Forward.
Plays for the Wizards now?
Uh-huh.
I don't even know who's on their team now.
They shipped them off to them too. Milwaukee.
Bagley or somebody like that.
Sorry. Yeah. Well, I think it's time that we wrap this up, Larry. We haven't usually go this long.
All right.
So
we can do this again next week.
Yeah. Guys, you check out Larry Abrams along with David Burnett and Charles Snowden every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. live on YouTube. And you can check out our show, NFL Game Line, where Larry Abrams, Neil Abrams, and myself pick 7 games each week on the NFL schedule. That's Saturday morning at 11 a.m. or live on YouTube as well. So I hope everybody has a very blessed and productive day. And we are out of here.
Good seeing you again, Kung Fu.
All right, Kung Fu. Yeah. All right.